Conor McGregor is at it again. And I believe this is actually his birthday on the time that it's recording. 37. He was sending nude pics out. Now, it's almost every other week he's doing something, right? He's on the yacht making out with a chick. You know, he's in court because he sexually assaulted a chick. Just recently, there's photos of him with some woman at some party. There's video evidence everywhere, and I guess he just doesn't notice it or something, that people are constantly filming him, like, wherever he goes, right? So he's just always caught. Well, this time, he sent rapper Azalea Banks nude pics. I have seen these pics, unfortunately. Uncensored.
Is this so we didn't have to see them?
Yes. He is very, very clean shaven. There's not a hair on this guy's body. And he's also uncircumcised. So it's just like, a taquito hanging between his legs. And I had to see this. So he sent a message of something telling her, don't snitch, don't be a rat. And she says, you don't know who you're talking to, I'll leak this. And I guess she did.
Good for her.
Meanwhile, the wife is still just kicking back. Like, I don't know if it's just, obviously it's the sugar daddy, it's her money. But still, Tiger Woods' wife divorced him, and she's living fine.
Yeah.
So for her just to stand behind this dude, just nonstop cheating,
maybe she likes taquitos.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the 42nd largest dick in Ireland. Oh
God. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that an actual stat?
Yes. Yeah. Nice. From me, I had to. I was over there a long time, gathering evidence.
Were you the first 41?
Yeah. But yeah, so award-winning hitmaker Azalea Banks has lashed out at McGregor for sending her 2 unsolicited nudes. She shared them. Wow. McGregor fired off the images her way in the small hours of Monday morning and warned her against telling anyone about them. She wrote back, how you going to send a bitch some crooked dick pics and threaten her not to tell? Do you know who the fuck I am? Honey, aren't you trying to be the president of Ireland? Yeah. And guess what? This is only helping his political game, right? Over here, this kind of shit makes you even more popular.
Yeah.
So
that is true.
You think he could win? I don't know their political system over there. I don't know how many more straight edge people there are than over here, where it's just like
I think the way that not just any common person can run.
The Rock, oh hell.
Right. See, over here, all you have to do is you have to have some money behind your name, and you have to have some recognition. But just about anybody can run, as long as there's a few qualifications. Over there, it's almost like you have to be selected by several different groups before you can even get in a race.
Well, we'll see what happens. Obviously, the guy's not going to ever fight. I mean, he's just going to tease it. The guy's 37. Clock's ticking on that. Well, I think the hourglass has ran out. But hey, dick pics galore. Good on you. Will Trump gut the education department? Does it need to be gutted?
I think there needs to be some more control over what's going out as money-wise. Because here's the issue that a lot of people see. It used to be the school districts, the people that lived in the district are the ones that controlled the schools that educated their kids, right? They had more say-so about their school boards. They had more say-so about the curriculum that was being taught. Because in different areas, it requires different things. What goes on in rural Tennessee is slightly different than what goes on in inner city LA or Chicago, right?
Slightly.
And there's something to that to allow people to have a little more control over what their children are learning. Long time ago, who was it? Jimmy Carter signed this into law, the Department of Education, which was kind of a nod, a wink, and a thank you to the teachers' unions that helped get him elected. Now it seems like there is a ton of influence that the unions have and that Washington, D.C. has over curriculums across the country. Because once you form that federal department, there's a lot of money that gets thrown out and it gets invested in school districts everywhere, right? So they want you to get the taste of the lollipop. And then after a few years, here comes but now we want you to do this, or we're going to jerk this funding away, right? And so a lot of school districts have to comply because they've already allocated for this money. They're building different things, or they're adding wings to the school. They're building, massive sports complexes. And to yank this money away means there's a lot of things that don't happen at that point. And so these school districts just largely comply. Well, then you have the addition of things like Common Core. You had a lot of parents that were very upset with Common Core because it seemed like it overly complicated very simplistic ideas and concepts. And somewhere along the way, once we got to something like COVID, the teachers' unions had a ton of power to absolutely shut down school districts for, what was it? Out in California, they shut it down for what? 2 years? Was it nearly 2 years?
I mean, in California, I don't doubt that. Nothing surprises me in California anymore.
Right. But there was a point in time where people said, okay, it's time to, come out of your homes, come out of the caves, let's get back to life. We got to get the economy going again. People have to go back to work. Kids have to go back to school. Parents can't stay home every single day with their kids while school is canceled for months at a time. So we wanted some semblance of normalcy again. Well, these teachers' unions in your largest school districts, places in LA and New York and Chicago, that's your largest school districts. Virginia, although I don't think Virginia tried to rebel as hard, but some of these largely Democrat-run states, the teachers' union said, we're not going back. And the governors are saying, hey, we have to get these kids back in school. They've missed too much time. Everybody's lost a year. No, we want certain things before we go back through that door. We want raises. We want our pensions inflated. We want these curriculums. We want this. We want that. We want all this stuff before we open this back up for the children. Well, people became livid over it. And this was one of the reasons why during COVID, we saw what students were learning. This is why Glenn Youngkin won the governorship in Virginia, which is a deep, deep blue state. It sits right next to Washington, D.C. And once the parents that were staying home had to help their kids get online, get them connected to schools, and they started seeing some of the material that they were being forced to read, we saw that, what was it, the Loudoun School District? Loudoun County or... Loudoun School, it's like the second largest school district in the entire country. And the parents were bringing the material to the school board meetings that their children were being forced to read. And as they were reading it in front of the school board members, they were shutting them down because it was considered, too pornographic or too provocative. But yet it's okay for, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds to read it. And so it really opened up people's eyes of what's been happening inside of our education system. People have started paying attention, and nobody likes what's going on.
It opened up my eyes.
Well, we're spending more money than any other civilized country in the world to educate our students. Yet our test scores are dropping precipitously every single year. You have more and more kids coming out of high school every year that they can't read at their grade level. Some of them are completely illiterate. Hell, there was one gal that graduated with honors from some high school. I can't even remember where it was at. It's either New York or Chicago. She graduated with honors, but she's autistic and she couldn't read. She's functionally illiterate, but she graduated with honors. Isn't that strange? This is what we're doing to our children. And I think parents have just had enough of it.
Well, speaking of autistic people, This is good news. The stars of 90s sitcoms Wings and The Naked Truth. You know those?
I vaguely remember Wings.
Yeah. Tim Daly and Taya Leone. Man, they have tied the fucking knot. That's good, that a 69-year-old and a 59-year-old are tying the knot. How about Spinal Tap? Were you a Spinal Tap guy? I knew a couple people that really liked that shit. No? Well,
No, I never was.
the actor that played Viv Savage. He won't be acting anymore, my friend.
Oh, no.
Dead. And then finally, this fucking piece of news. It's big. Airport staff make a horror discovery inside a smelly cake box. This is in Germany. They had a nightmare discovery when they uncovered 15 young tarantulas stored inside cake boxes at an airport in the country. That reminds me of the story of the lady that was getting her packages porch pirate. She kept getting her packages stolen and stolen and stolen, and she put all the black widows in there. And that guy got he got bit everywhere. It's like, good, dude, who cares?